Let's take a look at this SSD here. It's within SanDisk new Creator series and all of them have this same blue hue. They are made for creators of course, but what's the difference between this and other SanDisk products? Well, I'll just point it out first. All products within the Creator series are partnered with Adobe to offer either 1 month of Creative Cloud for free or 3 months of Lightroom for free. But with that said though, how good is this SSD and should you buy it? Do I recommend it? Well, let's find out in today's video. Do like and subscribe as that will allow us to make more of these types of videos for you. Now, first off, let's talk about the unboxing. The box itself is pretty simple. We have all the crucial details laid out. For this SanDisk Creator Phone SSD though, it is listed to be MagSafe compatible, 1TB in capacity. It is also available in 2TB by the way, and it has these read and write speeds, and also 1 month of free Adobe Creative Cloud. At the side of the box is where we can see that this SSD is listed to use USB 3.2 Gen 2 X2 protocol. We'll definitely talk about this later. Opening up the box reveals the SSD itself, a bunch of documentation, and also the code for the Adobe Creative Cloud. It's a QR code behind and we have to scan to redeem. Pretty straightforward. If the phone or phone case that we're using is not MagSafe compatible, then SanDisk also included a metal ring in the box too. We can just stick it with the included double-sided tape and all of a sudden our phone case is MagSafe compatible. Then we also have this short flat cable. This is actually a Thunderbolt 4 cable that can go up to 40 gigabits per second and also 100 watts for charging. I was surprised by it because I didn't expect this cable to be a full-fledged Thunderbolt 4 cable. It might be a bit too stiff though, and we will also talk about it later. Now, the SanDisk Creator Phone SSD is made out of a plastic front and every other part of this SSD is covered with soft silicon material. This will not scratch your phone or phone case if we rub it around and also mitigate the damage if it is dropped. There is a lanyard loop here that we can make use of it if you are afraid that it will drop. Now, since that this SSD is MagSafe compatible, it is obviously compatible with all iPhones. The SSD just snaps in place and it is away from the camera pump. Then we can connect the short cable from the SSD to the phone and then change these settings in the camera settings menu and then start recording 4K ProRes videos directly to the SSD. Best of all, copying all of the footages out from the SSD to our Mac or PC for editing is also a lot faster compared to any other methods to transfer the files. It's just that because the cable is so stiff, the MagSafe magnets aren't strong enough to hold the SSD in place and the SSD could pop out. And I think this is where you will have to make use of the lanyard to just tie a wristband or something like that so that it wouldn't drop to the ground. That's an idea for you guys. Now, how about other phones then? Well, there are many other phones out there with cases that is MagSafe compatible. Case in point, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra with this case from Banks. Yes, the SSD can snap in place and you might have realized that the SSD is offset to the side, and you're right. Banks made it this way so that MagSafe accessories don't just clash with the camera bump. In the software side of things, Samsung has the ability to record videos directly into the SSD too. We can download the Camera Assistant app and then enable this option. Simple. Now, to test the SSD's speeds, we first connected this SSD to our desktop to run some tests. Using the standard USB 3.2 Gen 2 port, it can reach the advertised speed easily. Other benchmarks also showed really good results, so there's really nothing to complain here. As for AIDA64's linear write test, the speed goes up and down, and I do think that there's some sort of write caching feature that is causing this. Either way, this is a synthetic test, and it will probably never happen in the real world usage. Now, remember that on the box, it says that this SSD is using USB 3.2 Gen 2 X2 protocol. Well, there are a few problems with this protocol. First, it is like a forgotten protocol as it is not supported by Thunderbolt 4 and our phones do not support it either. Only a few desktop motherboards support this protocol. Still, it practically doesn't matter in reality since we don't utilize the duplex connection that the USB 3.2 Gen 2 X2 offers, and the maximum read-write speeds in this SSD is also not enough to saturate the connection. And when we connected the SSD to our other motherboard that supports USB 3.2 Gen 2 X2 and run the test again, it doesn't matter in simplex mode file transfers because the speeds are the same. So, should you buy the SanDisk Creator Phone SSD? Well, if you always film on your phone, then yes, I think this is a must-have product. And if you use Adobe products, then the free 1 month of Creative Cloud is the cherry on top. At the price of 699 ringgit Malaysia, I do think that it is a bit on the high side, but it does offer you convenience as you can just snap the SSD to the back of your phone, saves all of the 4K ProRes videos that we've shot, and we can quickly transfer it out to our PC or Mac for editing quickly. And of course, we can still treat this thing like any external portable SSD by just transferring files into it. So let me know what do you think about this SanDisk Creator Phone SSD down in the comment section below. Will you buy it or will you not? Let me know why, and we'll see you guys in the next video.